The Gorge, presenting herself as a high-ranking government spook, Bartholomew recruits mercenary Marine sniper Levi Kane for a top-secret year-long assignment based on his unique profile, as well as the fact he has no personal connections. In September, Levi parachutes into an undisclosed location where he meets JD, the lone commando he will be replacing. JD explains Levi's mission is to guard an observation tower posted on the west side of an expansive gorge on behalf of Western nations. Eastern nations assign their own operative to a similar outpost on the opposite side of the gorge, but communication between the two guards is strictly forbidden, as is any outside contact at all. Since World War II, Eastern and Western nations have carried out this joint operation in secret, even without the knowledge of their respective heads of state, in addition to radioing monthly status reports and maintaining the automated systems that control perimeter landmines and turrets. Levi is instructed to provide a second line of defense against anything that may come out of the gorge. JD identifies these mysterious creatures as hollow men. JD also warns that no human has ever survived a descent into the gorge, which JD claims is a figurative door to hell. A chopper comes to pick up JD, leaving Levi alone at the outpost. After confirming his identity, a soldier aboard the helicopter executes JD on Bartholomew's orders. In October, Levi uses binoculars to observe his counterpart in the other tower. Levi later learns the other guard is Drąsa Kanaitė, an elite Lithuanian sniper working for Russia. While celebrating her birthday in November, Drąsa breaks protocol by writing a message asking Levi to introduce himself, beginning ongoing whiteboard communications between the two snipers. A sudden assault from scrambling creatures interrupts their bonding moment. Working from their separate positions, Levi and Drąsa eliminate the threat together. While replacing landmines the next day, Levi and Drąsa are both surprised by a drone emerging from the gorge and flying away. Levi and Drąsa remotely celebrate Christmas from their respective towers. Through their continued use of binoculars and written messages, they also play chess and drums as they continue developing their mutual attraction. In February, Levi observes Drąsa mourning the death of her ill father Ericus, who had previously told her he planned to kill himself on Valentine's Day. After Drąsa says she wishes she could be with someone, Levi fires across a zip line that she secures to a tree. Using the cable to traverse the gorge, Levi joins Drąsa for a rabbit pie dinner. The following morning, Levi returns across the zip line, but a sudden landmine explosion breaks the cable. Levi engages his parachute to descend into the gorge. Drąsa deploys her own parachute to go after Levi. After surviving raging river rapids, Drąsa rescues Levi from a strange tree that traps him with long teeth and an adhesive substance. Resembling humanoids with tree branch-like protrusions, hollow men on horseback attack the couple. After killing their attackers, Levi and Drąsa noticed the hollow men were wearing old military uniforms belonging to lost battalions from the 1940s. Having lost her auto-ascender during the fall, Drąsa and Levi follow the river to search for another way out of the gorge. Levi and Drąsa end up in a ruined village devastated by a catastrophic event. Inside a church, they find skeletons bearing traces of intentional cyanide poisoning. Levi and Drąsa survive another creature attack before making their way to a ruined laboratory. There they find a film featuring a scientist who explains how the hidden community was formed by a top-secret coalition of nations that were developing biochemical missiles. When an earthquake struck the location, it triggered toxic exposure that caused human DNA to merge with plants, animals, and insects, creating various mutations in addition to the hollow men. Levi finds a modern computer identified as belonging to Dark Lake. Levi and Drąsa learn they haven't been working for their militaries like they thought, but for a private corporation using genetic research to build super soldiers. Levi also finds a file labeled Stray Dog, which turns out to be a self-destruct protocol that can be triggered if disabled cloaking arrays expose the gorge to external detection. On their way out of the facility, a hollow man captures Dresa. Levi follows them back to a missile silo where he rescues Drasa from the hollow man, who turns out to be Bradford Shaw, the first soldier assigned to guard the West Tower decades earlier. Levi and Drasa fight their way through enormous, mutated tree tendrils to escape the silo. They then commandeer a jeep whose winch they use to ascend back to the surface while fending off hollow men along the way. Upon returning to the east outpost, Levi and Drasa agree to quarantine in their respective towers for 5 days, which they learned is how long it would take toxic exposure to infect them. Levi tells Drasa he believes he was chosen for his assignment because his lack of personal connections made him expendable. But since meeting her, he now feels he has something to live for. Drasa proposes running away to France together, but Levi counters that they first need to destroy the gorge so no other soldiers can be sent there. Levi then tells Drasa he loves her before crossing back to his side of the gorge on a new zipline. Bartholomew interrupts Levi's scheduled status report over the radio to question him about activity detected in the gorge laboratory. Unaware that Bartholomew already saw him and Drasa on a hidden surveillance camera, Levi denies going into the gorge. Claiming his counterpart must have been the person who activated the lab's systems and must therefore be neutralized, Bartholomew tasks Levi with assassinating Drasa. Levi seemingly accepts the assignment, but, aware of his deception, from the other side of the gorge, Drasa shows Levi a message proclaiming her love for him. A helicopter carrying Bartholomew and her soldiers arrives, forcing Levi and Drasa to scramble. From separate sniper positions, Levi and Drasa destroy the cloaking arrays, causing the gorge to become exposed and triggering the self-destruct protocol. A massive bomb subsequently obliterates the area. Unable to escape in time, Bartholomew's helicopter crashes and burns. Unaware of Levi's fate following the explosion, Dresa finishes her 5-day quarantine before escaping to France. When Levi doesn't show up at their agreed-upon meeting place on time, Dresa follows his instructions to open a letter containing a poem written for her in the event he did not survive. In April, Levi surprises Drasa by showing up at the seaside restaurant where she now hides out as a waitress. Levi explains it took him longer than expected to reach her due to injuries he suffered in the blast. Levi and Drasa playfully quip with each other before kissing passionately.